Welcome back to the WatchTower Film Podcast, the film review podcast on the TowerCast Network by cinephiles for cinephiles.
Do you like that word?
I do like that word.
So instead of lovers, it's for files now?
What?
Instead of lovers, it's files
Yeah,
today?
because Alamo will sue us. That's genuinely
but
why
they're
I've
like-
changed
Is
it.
that why?
I thought it was by movie people for movie people.
No, it's
That
by
was-
movie lover or by cinema lovers for cinema lovers.
Really?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
But do you think they have that trademarked?
Probably. I don't know.
I
Do I
mean,
want to risk it?
It's a
Probably
good brand.
Yeah.
not. I'm surprised I'm the one having to tell you this. You're looking out for freaking trademarks.
I doubt that saying's trademarked.
I thought it was by film people
Everything's
for film
trademarked
people.
No,
nowadays,
it's not
bro.
people. I'm sure it's
Really?
lovers.
Oh my
I just don't know if
goodness.
it's cinema or movie lovers. I think it's cinema lovers.
No,
well, it might
movie.
be movie. Yeah.
Yeah,
What,
because-
what was that song that just got that artist that just got sued for just saying the one word? Ricky Martin, just for saying
Really?
La Vida Loca
Recently, you got sued for this?
or
Really?
something like that.
Oh, because it was like trademarked the song.
Yeah, just
It's by movie lovers.
For
For-
movie.
yeah,
movie
you know
so we can't be too.
that makes more
Yeah,
sense.
cinephiles. We're a little more. We
Yeah.
analyze cinema a little more. So it's cinephiles.
We got
it's a good
that,
word.
that gusto.
Yeah. What you guys feel dirty about the word? Is that what it
It's
is?
a little too close.
Oh,
It's a
come
little
on.
too close.
Too
No,
close
it's
to
because
Pedophiles
To
or
my
whatever.
great
never thought
teachers.
that.
What?
I didn't either. Well, I mean,
Just because I can't be within a school, like within 50 feet, doesn't.
jeez. I don't even think I
That
can say that word on
is
YouTube.
not the
Pedo.
best
Pedo.
Yeah, pedo.
Bethel?
Welcome back. We're back.
I'm back.
We're back. And continuing our series on
Pedophiles.
Oscar month.
No, definitely not that.
Timestamp that.
Previous
just lost-
Oscar winners, leading up to our kind of Oscar series. The Oscars are next month officially,
Yes.
so gearing up for that.
So
Before we
excited.
get into that, I want to encourage everybody to subscribe to the podcast, whether you're
Please.
listening to us on Spotify
Like and
or watching
subscribe.
us on YouTube
What are you
or
doing
listening
right
to
now?
us on Apple Podcasts or Google
got it.
Podcasts or everything. Please subscribe. What did he say?
I wish I caught that.
This guy was like, make sure you subscribe.
Subscribe.
Listen to the law. Subscribe.
Yeah,
Yeah,
do
I
the
hope it
watch for
helps us
that
out a
thing.
lot.
Yes.
And we want to keep sharing this to the world. So help us
Absolutely.
do that. Subscribe. We're back with this series. This episode.
This month has been fun.
yeah.
I feel like because we're reviewing previous Oscar winners, I mean, everything's just been hitting hard. And I feel like
How so? What do you think?
it's interesting to compare films that for multiple years have been like deemed like the height of that time, you know, because when you put them
Yeah,
all together
totally.
and what I've always struggled with like top 10 list or any of those like top 100 films, it's
Yeah.
always like once you watch more and more, then it's like, how do you categorize this and all that?
Yeah,
But
definitely.
yeah, no, it's really fun going back. And these years where I remember there was a lot of hype around them, coming back and seeing that like it just holds so much.
Yeah,
I
and a lot
agree.
of them make a ton of sense, and a lot of them don't. And I like those top 10 lists or 1,001 movies to watch before you die or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or AFI 100 movies. You know, I think it just, the more and more I watch films, the more grateful I am to be exposed to better cinema. But also, the more we have to accept that it's just subjective. But it ends up boiling down to preference, right? What do you prefer? What do you deem as good cinema?
See, that's growth, Carlos.
That's growth. I've never been on the opposite camp. I mean, however, I think there's as much as cinema subjective, I think there's a fine line between good cinema and bad cinema. I think there's a fine line, and again, that's what I'll hold kind of to my preferences. But
Okay,
other
I
people,
don't think we've very like. Blah, blah, blah. I don't think we've ever dived into this. What do you think Guy Ritchie's films are?
I think Guy
Entertainment
Ritchie
or
entertainment. I think Guy Ritchie appeals to the masses. I think maybe his earlier films had something to say. I don't think his newer films have anything to say.
so you'll place him like in an Avengers type of category?
A step above that,
Kingsman?
maybe. Yeah, Kingsman. I do place Mr. Ritchie in the Kingsman
You
camp.
don't think he's got a little bit of more Quentin Tarantino in the scripts, a little bit more?
He's
Yeah,
he's
even
a
if he's on a tour.
He's just sure he's an auteur. He's a
Thank you.
He's a
Thank you.
stylistic director.
He's an
That's exactly what I was
auteur.
gonna say. He's a stylistic storyteller, but I mean, so is Tyler Perry.
That's true.
I mean, you know, it just depends
Well.
what you root for. I think Guy Ritchie's just
That's all, folks.
Guy Ritchie's falling into the line that Doug Liman falls into for me right now. I love Doug Liman's early work. We talked about it on this podcast. I specifically love Swingers. And then he went off and did Tom Cruise movies for the next 20 years. And I think that's what Guy Ritchie's doing. I think he started with was it Snatched or
Revolver.
well, I know we covered rock and roll on this podcast and stuff.
Yeah,
like
he's
that,
always
but-
worked with Jason Statham.
Yeah,
Revolver, and I think it was Snatch, and then it went to
It evolved into
rock and roll and all these stuff.
Yeah, it evolved into the action. You know, the where you would categorize like the Cranks, well, the Jason Statham movies, right? The
No, don't you dare. Okay, we're going way out of subject.
I
How
don't
would you
know.
compare him different to Wes Anderson? And I
Oh.
said it right.
Don't-
Wes.
You did. You want to take this one, buddy?
You
What's
don't
the
wanna fight in
difference?
this corner.
Okay, he makes
I
very
think-
very
no, I mean-
symmetric.
Okay, dude. No, I just
Yes.
I think at least it's a kind of harsh comparison with No, I think Wes works very hard at kind of like referencing and paying a lot of very direct homage to like cinema that he appreciates and going back
you
in.
don't think
I think Guy Ritchie.
Ritchie-
No, I think
Does
Guy
he?
Ritchie has a formula, you know?
Yeah, I agree.
Basically, rock and roll is.
I don't think Wes's films have as much of a formula
It's just
as
the
him.
London version of Reservoir Dogs. I mean, come on.
I think it's an opinion.
Just London version. But anyways,
London Bridge is falling
Today
down,
we're talking
Castro.
about
No, hold on.
Valentine's.
We're gonna stick on this for a touch.
I mean, Carlos,
on,
like,
bro.
you
I
wouldn't
just
put
want to
him-
stick on this for a touch. I just
You
want to
wouldn't
stick
put
on
him in the same room as Scorsese.
this. No, absolutely not.
Hey.
Wes.
Oh, Wes. I'm sorry. I thought you meant Guy Ritchie.
No, I did.
I think maybe Guy Ritchie is
standing
inspired
outside.
a lot, but yeah, I know he's gonna punch us in the face.
He's knocking
I
at the
was
door.
listening to
Okay,
your
listen,
podcast.
listen.
Okay.
I've never seen a ton of his films. Like, I can appreciate what Sherlock Holmes does. You know,
Oh, that was really good.
Beautiful, dude, beautiful.
I can
Ooh.
appreciate that he adapted The Man from U.N.C.L.E.
Okay.
You know, from the series.
Yeah.
But let me put it this way:
That's when he kind of like divorced Madonna. So we
He was married to Madonna?
We don't count those years.
Oh. I just feel like for the longest time, and maybe this is just my naivete, I don't think it is. For the longest time, why did I feel like I didn't want to watch The Gentleman? Because it looked very similar to
Kingsman.
Kingsman. The marketing, the look of the.
Did you see it?
I didn't see. I saw part of it. I remember I told you like I saw, and I was intrigued.
So disrespectful coming from a director.
And I was intrigued. But I guess let me put it to you this way.
It's pretty good.
I can't fully say if he's formulaic because I haven't seen enough of his work. What I can say is, to me, my definition of good cinema, right? My definition. This is my
This is all
definition.
full circle. Just coming back to what you're saying.
This is my definition of good cinema, is that it's creating something that makes you internalize it enough for you to analyze yourself, analyze society, analyze the world.
Sherlock Holmes did that to me. I felt like I was a detective
No,
for 2
Castro.
movies.
Robert Downey Jr. did that.
Yeah,
That's really good.
I mean, but
I respect it.
there hasn't been enough. I mean, even like Rock and Rolla. Okay, it was fun. It was
Damn, dude.
what?
What's the sentiment for fun? Give this guy a little bit more.
Funnish. Funsy.
But it didn't make me
Fonzie.
think. You know, it was a cool kind of depiction of the underworld.
But then the style, the tour to it.
Okay, let's compare.
Dude,
like,
some people would say Michael Bay is an auteur.
which, well, I was gonna say like Zack Schneider. I mean,
Zack Schneider.
Zack Schneider. I feel like no,
He just does action movies.
no, but I mean,
And what does Guy
No,
Ritchie do?
don't you dare, bro. He does not.
Fine, we won't count Aladdin. I liked Aladdin.
I'm trying to think of another that's not. But okay.
Well,
okay.
look, and neither you or I have seen his new Gyllenhaal film, right? Which is supposed to be a little more dramatic, a little more.
The soul.
supposed to have a little more substance, right? Maybe he's turning
But
a
the
tide.
newer one that looks pretty good too.
Which one?
The one with remember I posted it on IG.
Oh, that was. I have the title here. Oh shit, he's got 7 upcoming films:
don't
Fountain of Youth, Aladdin 2.
Yeah, we don't.
I didn't know we were doing Aladdin 2.
We
the
don't talk about
Aladdining.
He's doing Hercules.
Aladdining.
Yeah, Aladdining. Which Hercules? He's doing the live action Hercules.
The Disney
I'm
one?
telling you, bro.
No,
He's-
do it.
He's up there, dog. He's knocking at the
Wait,
door,
what-
bro.
Hercules.
No.
Hercules.
Anyways, regardless, it's just making me understand that it's all subjective,
Exactly.
and that's okay.
I'm gonna buy your shirt like that.
Okay.
It's all
It's all
subjective.
subjective.
But that
We're
was
here to
biased
talk
up.
about Mr. Castro's pick this week.
Yes.
A very, very performance-heavy film.
yeah.
So much so that it won 2 Oscars for performance.
Dose.
And we're here to talk about 2013's Dallas Buyers Club. I can never
2013.
pronounce this director's name, but we're going to try here. Jean-Marc Vallée.
Jean-
Vallée?
Jean
Vallée?
Jean?
I think it's Vallée because it's got an accent. Jean-Marc Vallée, which we lost last year, actually, to cancer. I mean, I'm sorry, to cancer, to heart attack. He had a heart attack.
3 years ago.
He had a,
3 years
I
ago.
thought he died last year.
21.
21. Coronary disease. And in Quebec, he passed away. So,
R.I.P.
yeah, he was an interesting director and interesting storyteller. He definitely made something very compelling in this.
He definitely left something behind too.
Yeah, absolutely. And he did a lot of indies, man. That was his thing.
Especially this one.
Yeah, absolutely.
This was an independent film.
Yeah. Which we'll get into, but before we get into the nooks and crannies of this, Mr. Castro, who do you want to go first on the ratings? What direction are we heading in today? Or we can go crisscross. Anyway, it's your choice. Your
Well,
pick.
before we get into ratings, should we talk about this year's Oscar nominations?
Oh, yeah.
We're acting.
Yeah.
What do we got? We got
So for actor in a
year's-
leading
we got
role,
Cillian Murphy.
He's about to read the
We got
list.
Bradley
Oh.
Cooper for Maestro.
He's about to read the list.
We have
just trying.
The guy from American Fiction.
All right, Bradley Cooper for Maestro, Coleman Domingo for Rustin, Paul Giamatti for The Holdovers,
Paul Giamatti.
Cillian Murphy for Oppenheimer, and Jeffrey Wright for American Fiction. And now actress in a leading role, since this is acting.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
We've got Annette Bening in Naiad, Lily Gladstone in Killers of the Flower Moon, Sandra Holler in Anatomy of a Fall, Carey Mulligan in Maestro, and Emma Stone for Poor Things.
Yeah. Who do we
And for best
very
supporting.
quickly?
I heard some bad things about Emma Stone on that one.
Dude, no, she's
Right?
my.
I haven't seen
I
it. I
want
haven't
her to
seen it.
win. I know she's not going to. I know who's going to win, but
Do you think it'll be
I should
Gladstone?
never
I
read the
think
comments
it'll be
before I
Gladstone.
see the movie. So
it's too Oscar baity. It's too political, and it's too history groundbreaking, which it is. It definitely is. But that's Oscars eat that shit up, man. So, who do you guys before we get into supporting? Who do you guys want to win on each category, if anything?
Bradley for actor.
yeah,
I think Killian's going to win, but I want Bradley to win.
I'm a big Paul Giamatti guy, but
Paul Giamatti's amazing.
yeah, I just think with this one,
One of the best character actors ever.
yeah,
Paul Giamatti.
classic guy.
Terrific.
It would have been nice to see, or it would be nice to see Giamatti get like a win. But I agree. Like for
He won the Golden Globe.
Really?
Yes.
He won the Golden Globe. Yeah.
Wow.
He went to In-N-Out to celebrate after the Golden
Oh,
Globes.
I think
Oh,
I saw that
yeah, I
video.
did see
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
Yeah, he won for best actor in the comedy. I mean,
Yeah.
technically, but he won.
Yeah, no, that's
he took
good.
it.
I mean, I'd like to see him get more recognition.
Is that a thing, or is that just because when Joaquin Phoenix won it for Joker?
He went to Monty's Good Burger.
Oh, that wasn't In and Out. Is that a thing?
because
Though?
yes, because he went
also there's like a
because he's
meme this
vegan.
year.
Monty's Good Burger is vegan.
But is that a thing? Like going and getting a picture, or did they just
I-
like
it
that?
I don't
became
think
a
it.
meme.
Yeah, and
It's
it's probably
Recently,
just-
because I knew a lot of people that like they graduated this past semester, and they would like post pictures of themselves like
So
with their
it's
diplomas.
just-
Like,
That's
I think
cool.
it's-
Joaquin
it's-
did
it's a
that.
gag.
It's part of. I think it's part of celebrities just wanting to seem cool. Like
No, yeah.
go
and-
grab
and-
a burger. But
it
some
hit.
of them, like Giamatti, I think Giamatti's true to it.
Yeah.
He wasn't posed. Joaquin and his wife posed for the picture, bro. I mean, they like.
But I mean, it's pure iconic. So
It's cool.
It's one of those
It's
things
really
like,
cool.
okay, that hit.
Yeah, I agree with Austin wholeheartedly. I would really love Bradley Cooper to win. I think Cillian Murphy's going to take it.
oh man, it's so rough.
Paul Giamatti, I wouldn't be mad. Maybe I would. It was a good film, but it wasn't.
I feel like you're a little sour, though,
For real?
because of Leo. Since he didn't get a nomination.
I don't. I know this is going to sound reductive, but I don't care.
Yeah.
I mean, Leo. Somebody like Leo's earned his stripes, man. He doesn't care. Why should I care? Like I know he's a good actor. I know what he can do.
True.
I don't. Yeah, I'm
At
not.
the end of the
I'm not
day-
as bummed as I thought I'd be. That I lived with it for a couple weeks. To
Probably
be like,
if you hadn't got one yet.
yeah,
probably.
yeah. I mean, we talked about this on the last episode. I think Leo
Yep.
deserved to be nominated over The Revenant for Killers. I think that's a way better performance, but that's just where I'm living with it. Yeah.
I would put it over Revenant. His performance in
He
Killers.
fought a bear. Didn't we just talk about this last episode?
No, but drawing it back to this episode, I mean, this was actually an interesting year where Matthew McConaughey actually won over Leo also. Something I couldn't argue against. It was for Wolf of Wall Street.
Oh man.
What do we want to talk about that year's?
We can. But yeah, that's my take. I know you wanted to get into supporting really quick, but while Austin looks that up, on the actress front, I think Emma Stone deserves it. I really love her performance. I think performance has an amazing arc. I think it's a commentary on stuff, and at the very least on how we perceive women. And it's a really great performance, and I think it deserves it over anybody. I think Lily Gladstone's going to win.
Yeah.
Which she was a standout too. She's a terrific performer. And I think the upset for me is going to be Carey Mulligan. I don't think she deserves to win at the top, but I think she might.
I almost would say she probably didn't deserve a nomination. But.
Wait,
I don't think you watched the right movie.
No, Carey Mulligan for Maestro.
I think.
White.
Oh, my
I think you
goodness,
watched the bootleg or something. Dude.
Of what?
For that movie?
Of Maestro?
No, the actress that you think is gonna have a snub.
Of Poor Things? What do you mean?
Yeah.
I think she should win, yeah.
Oh, no.
Yes. Did you see it?
Yeah, dude. I'm just
You
saying
saw Poor Things?
I think you got a bootleg version or something.
Why? Because you didn't like her performance?
No.
Oh my gosh, why?
I don't know which.
I bet you liked Mark Ruffalo's performance in that more than hers, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
Oh no, baby. Yeah, no, I think Emma Stone's got something. I think Emma Stone deserves an Oscar for Poor Things more than she deserved an Oscar for La La Land, and I rescreened La La Land recently. So,
Really?
And
yeah.
this guy is a
but she's
big.
like from everything I've heard and seen, it's just she's more dynamic in that.
yeah, she's got a ton of range. She basically had to play herself as an adult, as
With
a
a child
baby, all the way up to full adulthood, and go through the complexities of sex and prostitution and love and hate. And I mean, dude, it's an amazing role.
I gotta see that one.
What do you mean? You just saw it.
No, not the one with Emma.
Oh, then what are you talking about?
The one that you said that's gonna get a snub.
Maestro, Carey Mulligan? No. I think Emma's gonna be the snub.
Oh, okay.
I think if anything, Carey Mulligan is.
Yeah, I got confused.
I
with
don't
what you're
think
saying.
I think she deserves a nod. I don't think she deserves to win over either Emma or Lily
I got
Gladstone.
confused.
That's where I'm at with it.
Me too.
I've only seen Killers and Maestro, so right now Gladstone's my lead.
I haven't seen Zone of Interest. I haven't. Or what's the other?
Anatomy Will Fall.
Anatomy Will Fall.
I still need Poor Things as well.
And Zayad either. I mean, I heard some good things of Zayad, but nobody knows, so nobody's gonna vote for it. Those are the two that I don't think people are sadly haven't seen.
Yeah.
But best supporting.
Best Supporting, Sterling K. Brown in American Fiction.
Wow.
Robert De Niro in Killers of the Flower Moon.
Damn, yeah.
Robert Downey Jr. in Oppenheimer. Ryan Gosling in Barbie. And Mark Ruffalo in Poor Things. I still think that one's down to RDJ and
I
Downey,
think De
yeah.
Niro.
De Niro.
I would love De
Ryan
Niro to
Gosling.
win. I think Robert Downey's gonna win.
he deserves it.
Really?
Give him his flowers.
Did you watch Oppenheimer?
You watched it with us.
He just didn't stand out that much.
But
Really?
he was
he
that
did.
character.
He did.
You know?
He did. I don't know. I still think Robert De Niro deserves it over Robert Downey, but I'm
Yeah.
sure Robert Downey's gonna win it. I'm positive he is. It'd be his first Oscar. I don't know.
Nah, Ryan Gosling.
Oh, didn't he
dude,
win for
come on.
Chaplin?
I don't know if he won for Chaplin. I don't remember. I don't think he did. I think he got a nod.
No, I don't think he did. That's why he went off the deep end.
Jeez. Wasn't Chaplin his big
Chaplin
return?
was his return
Yeah.
to kind of.
Yeah, his number
No, it
one.
was Zodiac.
No, Chaplin was his return, dude.
Oh, okay, Wes.
Yeah.
What were you saying?
He's been nominated 3 times, but hasn't won.
Oh, I got it. Chaplin.
Don't want to load, don't know the answer. But.
The one.
Man.
No,
Go ahead,
the
go
judge,
ahead.
Solis?
right? The judge.
The judge?
Oh,
With
yeah.
Duvall?
Yeah.
Is that the Solis?
Wow.
Or
It finally loaded on my end
What?
for what his nominations were for. To Oppenheimer, Chaplin. Can you guys guess the third one? I bet you money you guys will not be
So
able
isn't
to
that what I
guess
just
it.
said? It's
No.
not the judge.
Nope.
Tropic Thunder?
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
No, I forgot about that because
Yeah.
Chris Rock, I think, went on stage and he was like, "I can't believe that I have to announce like that this man won a Best Supporting like."
Well, he
actor
got
role."
nominated. He didn't win.
Nominated.
Or yeah,
But
That's great.
That's just 3
I,
nominations.
I forgot, but
I'm
I
the dude disguised as the dude. Dude playing the dude disguised as the other dude. And in the
For
film, doesn't he
400
win an
years.
Oscar?
Oh,
Like
yeah.
in Tropic Thunder, he
I
actually,
think
like, his
so.
character wins an Oscar. There.
Yeah.
That's funny.
For 400 years.
400 years. All people. All people.
Man, that's a theme song for the Jeffs.
Yo, that's gotta be a comedy pick when we do comedy month.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's gotta be
Yes.
Tropic Thunder. All right. Supporting actresses.
We've got Annette Bening and Nyad. Oh, wait. No, sorry.
Naya.
I was like,
Emily Blunt in Oppenheimer. Danielle Brooks in The Color Purple.
I didn't see-
America Ferrera for Barbie.
Nope.
Jodie Foster for Nyad. And Divine Joy Randolph for The Holdovers.
I like her.
Yeah,
She did
the
good.
holdovers.
She did good. Wait,
I don't know. Emily Blunt was pretty good in Oppenheimer.
She was.
But
Come on, man.
I haven't seen 3 of these pictures.
We'll
Yeah, I haven't
watch
either.
it, bro.
I'm sorry.
We're good.
should be all right.
It's still Taina.
Yeah, it should be all right. Yeah, I don't have a ton to say. I'm on Austin's boat. I haven't seen 3 of the films. Zayed seems to be getting a ton of nods, though. Might be an interesting performance piece to watch.
Ferrera for.
I don't think she deserves it. Why? Because she had an Oscar baiting monologue. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love to see her win, man. She's a Mexican American woman. She's about to direct her first picture.
Really?
Yeah. She's actually doing it for Amazon. She's doing it's based on a novel. The film I think it's called Not My Mexican Mother or something like that. But she's about to direct her first picture. Good for her, man. I like to see her win. I like to see any Mexican American woman or any Mexican American individual in general win. But I don't think she deserved even a nod. I don't think Ryan Gosling deserved a nod. I don't think Barbie deserved a nod for anything other than best song. I actually like the Billie Eilish song.
Yeah.
That's good. That
one-
deserves a nod.
I'm still a little disturbed that I'm Just Ken got a nomination.
Yeah.
Oh, and it won the
Golden Globe.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was weird.
and I love all the like memes of like
Yeah,
Ryan Gosling
like,
like,
am I gonna have to sing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. Is
I
he
don't
going to
even
have
think
to
he
sing
can
at the
believe
Oscars?
Yeah.
Is he going to
Yeah,
have
I'm
to sing
sure
it
he
at the
is.
Oscars?
I'm
oh
sure
my
he is.
God.
Oh, that's
I didn't watch
that's
the
gonna be
Grammys, but I mean, I
cringe.
know that Oppenheimer won for the Grammy.
Yeah.
gonna be
And
so
I think the
awkward.
Billie
For
Eilish
score.
song won.
For best original song or for best song in a film, feature film. Yeah, I like that song. I think it's good. I think it should get a nod.
I'm just kidding.
I'm
Well,
just
that's-
enough. But drawing
10
it back to our performance piece today,
Bringing
right?
it back to 10 years ago.
11, I think, at this point, right? I mean,
No, it's 11. So this was the 2014 Oscars.
oh, okay. Fair point. Yeah, I mean, look, this piece is heavy, man. This piece is heavy. Heavy is the best word I can use to describe it. But
Not heavy enough.
what was it nominated against that year?
So an actor in a leading role went up against Christian Bale for American Hustle.
Oh, that was a great role.
Yeah.
But not close to this though.
Bruce Stern in Nebraska.
I like Bruce Dern.
Leonardo DiCaprio, Wolf of Wall Street.
Damn, I can't believe.
And
I like
I'm
that.
sorry
film
if I
more.
mispronounce this. Ejiofor for 12 Years a Slave.
The lead.
Is that the one that won?
Yeah.
No.
I like him. He's I think that year they won Best Picture though.
Yeah. And then
He's good. He's the guy who was in The Martian.
As who?
The guy that
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
He's good. I like him. He's good, but not.
And then since this actually took home for Best Actor, leading role and supporting,
yeah.
Jared Leto beat out Barkhad Abdi for Captain Phillips.
Oh yeah, the pirate.
Yeah.
Wow.
Bradley
I'm
Cooper.
Captain now.
Yeah.
Bradley Cooper in American Hustle.
Yeah.
Michael Fassbender for 12 Years a Slave.
Oh, I forgot he was in that.
And Mr. Jonah
Brad
Hill.
Pitt's in 12 Years a Slave. Brad
Jonah
Pitt
Hill?
produced 12 Years a Slave.
Oh, wow.
Oh
Yeah.
wow, I didn't know that.
And Jonah Hill.
For Wolf of Wall
Wolf
Street.
of Wall Street.
Yeah.
Wow.
Interesting
Yeah,
year.
I mean-
Interesting year. But Jennifer Garner did not get a nod.
Rightfully so. Sorry.
Yep.
Jennifer.
I have a ton to say about that.
Do you want to tell us why you picked this
Yeah.
one?
I picked this film because when I first watched it in the theater, I kind of left with it still in my mind. And I was like, okay, it was a great story. It was a heavy theme story. But I was just kind of one of those, what was it, 2014?
13 is when the film
13?
came out.
It was just one of those performances by both Matthew McConaughey and Jared Leto that just stuck with me of like, wow, man, I've known Matthew McConaughey from All Right. You know, I never seen him in something
Another
like
film we're
this.
going to cover on this podcast down the line is just
Yeah.
Dazed and Confused. But I love that you point that out, Castro. Let me point something out about that before we move on.
Yeah, it was just that was.
I want to point out the fact that Matthew McConaughey, terrific guy to I think work with in this scenario, because McConaughey turned down a $14.5 million offer to star in another rom-com, yet another rom-com.
Do we know which one it was? Like,
They didn't make it because he said no. They ended up making the picture.
They didn't make it.
But they were going to make another rom-com, right? And McConaughey's notorious for that era of his career, right? How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, Girlfriend's Past,
yeah, there you
whatever, Failure
Gold
to
Rush.
Launch, Gold Rush,
That's-
all these rom-coms that defined the shitty rom-com era of the early 2000s. And
That's what I was getting to. I was going to say that for the acting.
And I don't know that he felt responsible. He's one of many, right? But he was definitely a top star in that kind of genre. He wanted a shift.
Exactly.
And they offered him this role. This film had a $5 million budget. Okay. Independently made, ended up grossing $50 million. McConaughey took a $500,000 pay for this role.
From 14?
From $14.5 million that he could have gotten on another picture. $500,000.
Because he just wanted to make a change,
He
right?
just wanted to make a change. He did not that I don't think he was feeling typecast as much as he felt like, if I'm not gonna do
I thought he was.
maybe. No, he was definitely typecast, but I think in his feeling he was like, if I'm not gonna make my acting career, if I'm not gonna be in roles that I want to be in, then I'm gonna quit acting.
Mm-hmm.
So I need to make this shift now. And those were like his words, and not, you know, then
Either that or he realized he was getting kind of old. But either one.
Either one, but I mean, like this, I agree with you guys. So I think this was the first thing of substance that I had seen Matthew McConaughey in a
Exactly.
long time.
Because we give credit to like the Kristen Bales that, you know, transformation from
Yeah.
body,
Yeah.
you know. But he didn't just transform body wise, man. He really,
showed you he can act.
yeah. You know, I was believing this guy's character. I believe
yeah.
in, you know, the location, the people he was interacting with. I believed this character.
He lost 47 pounds for this role. 47. That's no easy feat.
And it's noticeable for sure.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm with you, guys. But I think, I'm sorry. Good cinema leaves with you. Leaves you thinking, huh?
Okay,
Leaves you
so
walking
you consider
around.
this a good
Yeah,
cinema?
absolutely.
So yeah, that's why I picked this film. It was one of the first ones that I saw that it just hung in with me, and I was like, I started kind of like, okay, performance wise, it's pretty good.
Damn
That's
good.
why I kind of picked it like, all right, so you guys can see what I think a good performance is.
The Academy agrees with you.
A lot of people would.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean,
That was the year, and again, I've loved. I was obsessed with Wolf of Wall Street that year, and that was before I even really heavily got into Scorsese. And I remember watching the Oscars and being like, I can't even be mad. I can't even be mad that Leo didn't win.
really, because I don't know. I mean, I kind of like Wolf of Wall Street a little bit better, but the performance was a little bit more on Matthew's side for sure.
Yeah.
It's such a different. Because, you know, Leo's...
I don't know. Is he listed as a producer on this? Because I was reading that McConaughey. I just want to champion him, man. Give him his flowers, because not only did he take a massive pay cut to get this picture made,
which is a
but
big thing. It's like...
it's huge, man. Especially in that point in your career where you can demand millions and millions of dollars. But not only did he take a pay cut, but he didn't get listed as a producer. He should have. It must have been a PGA thing, because he got this picture made. Man. Like, this thing has been tossed around studios for 20 years before it got made. And essentially what ended up... By the way, this thing has been in development since the mid-90s.
Since whole
Since
thing.
it happened. Since the Dallas Morning News wrote the article about Ron Woodruff?
Woodruff.
Woodruff?
Is
That
it
doesn't sound right. Woodrow, I think.
Roof.
I don't know. I think we're just a bunch of dogs. But 92 is when that was written, essentially around that era. And it had very different iterations. Originally, this was gonna be Woody Harrelson. That'd have been interesting.
That would have been not bad.
Woody Harrelson in the 90s
Not
was up for
bad.
this. I
Not
forget
bad.
what director was attached, but and then I have my list here. Hold on.
Yeah.
This
Jared Leto, who was going to be Jared?
no, they hadn't picked him, and I'll tell you why. Woody Harrelson was attached to play Juan Woodruff, in 96. They scratched it because of financing issues.
Right after White Man Can't Jump.
Probably. Brad Pitt was attached to play the lead role
I would definitely write like after
In
the
02?
Five Monkeys or whatever. Yes, dude.
in 02. Oh, I would have said Burn After Reading. Maybe I've seen Burn After Reading.
Oh, but that's in 2000 something.
Well, this was in 02 where Brad Pitt was considered.
Oh, I thought they were gonna make it like 95 or something.
96 was Woody Harrelson. They scrapped it.
Oh,
02,
Brad
back in
Pitt.
turnaround, Brad Pitt. And then the final iteration before what we got in this picture, Ryan Gosling.
Nah.
Ryan Gosling,
man.
Nah.
directed by Craig Gillespie, who directed Lars and the Real Girl.
Okay,
that was a good one.
so yeah.
That
I mean, those sensibilities, I think
Exactly,
they really
yeah.
could have pulled something
I
out.
think that would have been interesting too. But ultimately, it fell in the right hands, right? And like I said, just McConaughey not only championed for this film to get made, try to get it made, he also saved the picture essentially when Jennifer Garner wanted to quit. Various times on set.
Why did you want to quit?
Because Jennifer Garner had just had her third baby with Mr. Ben Affleck, and she took a 5-year break from acting.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
this was her return to acting after 5 years.
Okay.
Remember, McConaughey and her co-starred in that Girlfriend's Past thing, right?
Yeah.
And, she gets attached to this picture because her manager basically says, like, if you want to keep acting, you got to get the fuck back into something, and this thing could be good for you. She does it, and she's breastfeeding while she's on set, essentially. The film was made in such a guerrilla indie style that they didn't have 10 minutes to break. You're on the road. They shot this thing in 25 days. So she couldn't handle the fast pace, especially fresh off of having a baby,
So that's why it kind of seemed like.
I mean, maybe.
There was something about. I'm not saying she was bad, but it was just like she's
Yeah.
a great actress. But in this one, she just seemed off tone or off sync
Yeah,
with the other.
I agree with you. Maybe that catered to her performance being good.
You thought it was a good performance?
No, I think what was good about her performance was probably that angst, that feeling that she was going through in her personal life that kind of fed into the immediacy of the character.
Yeah.
I think so. I mean, because I've never seen her. The only other thing I would compare to this in terms of performance was Juno. She had a good role in Juno.
Not
She had a really
Electra?
good role.
But I mean,
Oh, not Electra.
First thing that come up.
Yeah, no, Juno, man. Her performance in Juno was terrific,
Yeah.
especially opposite Jason Bateman. But my point with that,
I forgot about
Yeah.
those are the parents.
yeah, but not the parents, but the adoptive parents, right?
Yeah.
But McConaughey had to go sit Jen aside and be like, "What's up?" Like, she's like, "I can't even fucking breastfeed. Like, I'm fucking dying here. Like, I want to go home to my kids. Like, I'm not even." And he was like, he talked her off the ledge. He saved the picture multiple times. She admitted to it. She's like, "I wanted to quit this movie. Couldn't handle the fast paced indie guerrilla thing. After having a kid, and there was a whole thing." So I think McConaughey deserves his place, man. He should have been a producer on this thing and pulled this thing together and essentially even sat with the director and was like, "What are we doing?" Because they originally had a bigger budget and more days. They had, I think, 60 days to shoot this thing,
What? They
or
cut it in half?
45 days or something like that. And they cut it in half, and they ended up with a $4.9 million budget.
So a little bit under.
And the director made so many concessions. And not only did McConaughey was at the peak of his career, right? But he was like, "Let's fucking go. Whatever we need to do to get this picture made. Like, whatever it is, let's fucking go."
You believe in the script?
It's huge for a star of that caliber to do that, to be like, "Let's fucking go. Let's fucking go."
Who was the director again? Has he done anything good?
He did kind of like some indie darlings. He didn't do anything that much of
That's a
notoriety.
huge risk then.
Yeah.
For McConaughey.
Yeah.
but
So,
I mean, I also feel like, especially talking about the rom-coms,
yeah.
there's a lot of instances where I see actors, even like Jonah Hill recently, where they're taking these bigger leaps because they're kind of like, at this point, it's not about the money. It's about feeling like, I'm holding my stance
Yeah.
in like the acting world.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I can definitely see where this would be like a risk, but also
Jonah
it
Hill
makes
that year
so
too,
much
man.
sense,
It was the year of risks, right? Jonah Hill lobbied for the role that he played in Wolf of Wall Street. Like,
Yeah.
begged, man. Like, went to Mexico to meet Leo and was like, "Dude, like, please, man, I'm born for this role." And then, like, Leo had to convince Marty to take a meeting. He's Jonah the comedic actor.
Did
He had done his money
like meet Scorsese with the teeth or something like that?
With the
I don't remember
that's
that.
pretty cool.
I thought I remember
I
that
think
somewhere.
he was just called to New York and met with Marty and like ultimately convinced them. But like again, it was the year of risks, right? The year of
Yeah.
like, let's take more chances. It was a good year in cinema, man. It really was. David O. Russell was still making good pictures, right? American Hustle was a good picture. I mean, I really like that picture. But anyways, I think I'll talk more a little bit when I give my rating. But
Oh, if you want to start with you,
Me?
we could go counterclockwise.
so we're going this way.
Am I looking at this way or am I looking?
Well,
at
if we're
from the
going
bottom?
counter, we're going this way. We're going to
Remember,
you.
Clock like
So
this.
clockwise.
It's because in the
Go
UFC,
circle.
It's
Back
because in
to
the UFC, two refs had a dispute. Like,
No way.
Yeah, you can't hit 12 o'clock to 6 o'clock. Have you seen that one?
No.
And the other ref was like, "Yeah, but if you're looking at it from the ground, but when the fuck have you ever seen a clock on the roof?" Which makes sense. Anyways, I know.
You know, interesting. But yeah, okay.
We're going clockwise.
Man, both of you guys. I went first last time too.
He just likes when you go first. I think it's kind of
Okay, you know what? No, okay.
No, it's okay. It's completely okay. It's just an
I'll start
observation.
with Delo, Austin, me, and then finish with you.
Okay.
You want to get really
next, you can.
spicy? You go the Lao, Carlos, me, then you.
Dang.
Damn.
Man, how long have the audience been waiting for a rating?
For a rating. Actually, we've been pretty fast on this one, I think. Go
Oh,
ahead.
yeah. Some of the audience that I've heard, they like our little chat.
I really like this one. I've always heard about it, and I knew
PDPs.
I knew that the subject matter was going to be kind of heavy because
Yves Bellinger.
Yves Bellinger. And you know
Female
the works?
cinematographer.
Ooh.
Which is not super common in the industry. You know, she's French too.
A French? Don't.
Oh, she did Brooklyn. I like Brooklyn.
It's a male cinematographer.
Oh, my apologies.
Is
Wow.
this
He
your
also
type of
did
film?
The Mule.
This one?
Yeah, like I guess true story.
Yeah, I mean,
Dang. He got lucky, man. He's working for Clint Eastwood now. He's did Clint Eastwood's like last 3 films.
Clint
DP.
Eastwood's the most overrated.
Good for him.
hey.
Very overrated.
You think Clint Eastwood is overrated as what? As an actor, as a director? I agree with you on the acting front. I want to agree with you as a director.
Actor,
Really?
director.
I
No,
think he's a
don't know
damn
much.
good director.
You think
Actor,
he's a good
he's
actor? Or is just the same guy?
He's just the same guy. But I think he's a
that
director.
guy
He's very
is great.
versatile.
yeah.
If we didn't have American Sniper, we wouldn't have Maestro. He brought that side of Bradley Cooper out.
Yeah.
As a director. So
Why do you think before that Bradley Cooper was just the hangover guy?
yeah.
I don't know. He lost credibility when I saw that fake baby. I was like,
That's not on him.
Well, baby.
he was like, bring the fake baby, bro, because the other one was sick.
What are we talking
An
about?
American Sniper.
Sniper?
Remember when he's on the thing and it's so noticeable that it's a fake baby?
So
I
what?
don't remember that.
It was a big thing when the film came
Yeah?
out.
Yeah, because the other baby was sick and they're like.
By the
"Bring
way,
in
not that
fake-"
that's my favorite Bradley performance nor my favorite Clint Eastwood movie, but I think Bradley
That's my
Cooper,
style of film.
Yeah.
Survival. Oh, no,
What's your
yeah.
favorite Eastwood? Trouble with the Curve?
Jersey Boys.
Oh.
I love Jersey Boys.
Tell me, is your favorite? I ain't gonna say any Western. Never mind.
What? Performance?
Yeah.
I like
Bradley
Gran
Cooper.
Torino, man.
Gran
I
Torino?
love Gran Torino's performance.
yeah.
I love his performance of Gran Torino.
Dude, it's about an old guy
Who has a Gran Torino?
and he's trying to get this
And-
guy off the streets.
With
The
a Gran
mule
Torino.
is
Don't get me
worse.
wrong, man. Like
The mule is worse.
The guy
Yeah, I
has
didn't see
trouble.
the meal.
The mule is just an old guy.
Eric really liked the meal. That's what I'm saying. He's getting typecast. But
It's an
but I
old
think
guy.
I think the Man Without a Name trilogy is amazing. I mean, it's classic.
Yeah.
It's iconic.
Like I know it's
Still
very
overrated.
consistent in the performance, but it's like that character really is
Feeling
iconic.
lucky.
Punk.
But yeah, Gran Torino, man. Gran Torino really opened. I mean, it was probably the first Clint Eastwood film I ever saw, and he directed that shit, dude. I mean, pretty great.
Well, I disagree.
All right,
All right.
rating, pal.
Rating.
You said it was your style. True story.
Yeah. I mean, I
Hit me with it, man. Hit me with
Hit
it.
me with your best.
I mean, for cinematography, for like the style that I like visually,
See, mama.
for Simba, I
Simba.
like this one, but I also feel like they kind of had this general intention with it. They wanted to shoot this almost documentary style, which is good for any type of biopic. I thought there were plenty of times that it was overdone. I thought that there
Yes,
was
I was
also
about to say the same thing.
there's times where I felt like they could have been a little more cinematic. They were very symbolic, and oh
In
my
this
god,
film?
yeah. You didn't think so? The clown popping out, the butterfly room, a lot of those moments.
Great moments.
Yeah. I thought those were good.
Okay.
But then I'm talking about like for 99% of the film, it's shot on this kind of shaky handycam, and I felt like it
Same.
could have been a little bit more deliberate.
Okay.
steady.
Okay.
Steadied it up.
I'm gonna have to defend the director on this one.
Okay. Unstable.
There's some moments where it does work, but some of them.
I'm gonna have to defend him on this front. This $5 million budget.
Oh, okay, that's pretty good start.
This $5 million budget didn't even allow for them to have lighting in this film.
really?
This is all natural.
Or
Oh my
proper
God.
hair and makeup.
Or proper hair and makeup. This had a $250, not $250,000, $250 makeup budget, and they
And
won an
what
Academy
else?
Award for makeup and makeup and hairstyling at the time. I think it was
Oh
combined
my
at the
God.
time, no? Or maybe it was just one for makeup, but $250 in makeup department just to buy supplies. The person probably did it for fucking free and won an Oscar for it. Insane. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about cinematography, right? I can't stress even that's part of why Jennifer Garner was going crazy. They would do 15-minute takes on handheld cameras
Really?
just because they had to go.
I like
25 days,
I
man.
love
25 days to stretch this fucking $5 million budget out. They shot in New Orleans. It's not the cheapest place in the world to shoot, by the way.
New
But it's
Orleans.
cheaper than Texas, even though this is based in Dallas.
Okay, I was gonna say yeah.
Based in Dallas, they couldn't shoot in Dallas. It's too expensive. They shot in
Yeah.
New Orleans and Baton Rouge.
Wow.
$5 million budget. And they were on the run and gun, guerrilla style.
I think
You know, I think it's immensely impressive what they were able to pull off.
Absolutely.
All things considered. And I'm going to toss this argument in there. This is exactly what I was talking about when we were talking about The Revenant last week. Amazing cinematography. Beautiful approach. Beautiful execution. I prefer a story. You impressed me more with a story like this. With the limitations of something like this.
Then
Than to go out in the winter with a $150 million budget and a crew of,
I hate to agree with you. Yeah.
300.
yeah.
This to me is more impressive, and it's also like a direct mirror for people like us, indie filmmakers who are out doing it.
No, yeah.
And again, just two people in a room or whatever, man. Like I don't know. It's just to me the cinematography in this.
Do you agree,
It's
Delon?
no, it's because a lot of the films of that year
Yeah.
and like around that era,
Yeah.
they really like that style. That very
Dude,
that
it's set up a
handheld.
fucking precedent that we can't get away from now.
Yeah,
I
And-
agree
and
with
maybe-
you. I
maybe it's
agree
that.
with you.
Because we also talk about like films of the early era that
Yeah.
set a foundation that after that everybody really admired that style, really wanted to explore it more.
What early era do you mean?
I'm thinking like Blair Witch to like 2015,
Sure.
you know.
Found footage.
Yeah, found footage. Very,
Cloverfield was around this
Yeah.
time.
where
was it?
it's like, okay, look at this. This one being a biopic and then like Oppenheimer being a biopic. It's that style that we've seen a million times where it's like, oh, it's shaky, it's real, it's there. I did love the little like inserts, those little like time inserts and
Yeah.
the way everything felt very clinical.
Yeah, I like that.
But I think like with Oppenheimer, it showed that, you know, you don't need to stay in that mode to do a good, what is it called? Biopic.
You're
Now-
not wrong, but Oppenheimer also had a
No,
$200
again-
million budget, right?
Man, you leave Nolan out of this.
No, I'm
alright?
agreeing with
No,
Carlos
but
now.
listen, Christopher Nolan, this is what I love about Christopher Nolan, right? He turns around and says, they ask him, are you going to continue? You might win an Oscar this year. Are you going to continue to make big scale production? And he said, yes, because there are filmmakers that would kill for the resources that I have.
yeah.
So why wouldn't I?
Yeah.
That's fucking great, man.
I'd be doing.
I'm
a
loving
disservice
Nolan
if I
more and
wasn't.
more. Yeah, I'd be doing a disservice. And again, apples and oranges, right?
Yeah.
There's still fruit, motherfucker. I hate when they say
Why can't fruit be compared? I just think it's a little dicky.
that.
reference,
Yeah, this
you
guy
know.
is so fucking. All right.
Was that what you were trying to?
Yeah, dude. I'm just like, nobody's gonna get that. Nobody's gonna get that.
But yeah, I just think that with the amount of resources that they had, did they set a precedent? Probably, but it also, I don't know. I feel like Darren Aronofsky style was kind of in the same vein. Things like Requiem for a Dream, and which Jared
You know,
Leto
it-
was actually in
Yeah,
also.
I haven't seen that one.
It's
which
just,
is, I'm embarrassed.
Drug use, documentary style, very eerie kind of
I
shadow
guess-
and cinematography.
I guess to me, it's just like the saturation of that style,
Yeah.
and definitely in no way is it like discounting the merit
No,
of
absolutely.
the style of the film and everything.
Yeah.
I think just because of the saturation of that style,
Yeah.
watching it, this wasn't as visually appealing as like we talked about Revenant recently,
Mm.
or a lot of my films were like the movie Her, where just the color palettes are a lot more expanded.
and it didn't get a nod. So
Yeah,
you're onto
yeah.
something
Yeah,
here,
yeah,
right? It
that's-
didn't get a nod for cinematography.
That's why I was saying, like, as far as like that, my style of film. I mean, I look at a lot more of these visually
True,
grandiose
true.
films. But for the story,
For
I was
story,
extremely
entertainment-wise.
engaged. And also, this is one of those films where I think you could show any person, and very quickly, if they don't know what an actor really does or
Yeah.
what the limits are, that this film will make you
I have
very aware of that.
I have
you
a
know?
tough, maybe not tough
I
question
agree,
for you.
man. I
Yeah.
agree.
In terms of intentionality for the cinematography,
Yeah.
what percentage would you put that in? If you had to give it a grade of intentionality.
Of intentionality, it'd be in a very like high bracket because just a very simple scene that we paused on and we kind of went back to because I was going to miss it.
The dinner scene.
The
The
dinner
restaurant,
scene.
yeah.
And where you see that, you know, the coloring and everything. I
You
mean,
used the word saturation. The saturation in that film was,
Yeah.
that scene was interesting.
yeah. Because with her, she was definitely lit very well, meaning that with whatever resources they did have, they were going to make sure that she...
You pointed out it was probably candlelight.
Yeah. They really wanted to make sure that it was good on her, but for him, it's very close to the ground. It's very harsh. I described it like a dwindling flame.
Yeah.
When you see his face, it's just like a candle flickering, like it's
Very
going to
intentional.
go out.
Very intentional.
And I saw a lot of those moments. I was super interested at the moments that were very like experimental.
And at first, I asked
Yeah.
a lot. I wanted to pause on that because I asked, why is he lit this way?
Yeah.
We have so much shadow around his eyes. Okay, the obvious answer is he's a corpse.
Yeah.
He's a corpse. We're essentially waiting to die.
Yeah, exactly.
And then I started thinking about films like, I just thought it was a little closer to the Lighthouse, for instance.
Yeah.
The use of shadow, especially on their
Oh
faces,
my
or
God,
something
yeah.
like that, right?
Very
Very different. Very different, but lit very similarly.
But how would you categorize it? Very.
I don't know. To me, it just always reminds me of the Universal classic horror monsters.
Yeah. That's what I'm trying to put it into
That's
better
what
terms.
it reminds me of.
And
right?
I mean that lighting style where light comes
With
from
light from-
underneath.
Yeah, your typical campfire.
Yeah, the reason that's seen as such a negative lighting, and they used it for a lot of monsters and all that, is because naturally, as humans, we're used to the main light source in the world coming from like the sun above us. So we're very, very in tune to the idea that when people walk around with shadows going down, it looks normal, it looks pleasant, it's fine. The second the shadows go up, they go in the wrong direction. That's where this unease kind of
We're used to
happens.
that.
And I think like for lighting this scene, where as opposed like
Think
a
of
normal,
poster.
Dude, at first, and this is why I think you should question cinema, because at first I was like, why are we lighting this way?
Yeah.
And then learned that that's probably the most intentional lighting of the entire picture. I mean, you could do this is a masterclass in lighting for what his character's going through.
Also, the
And-
flickering light with the
Yeah.
butterfly plays.
Yeah.
Please explain that to me.
Threw you off a bit?
Butterflies.
I thought that was I
Come
thought he was gonna die there for some reason. Like I thought that this was the way the
Well,
afterlife is gonna
look
show
at what's
you.
happening at the exact same time. Then that's when his friend Jared Leto's character was
Yeah.
dying, and in a weird way, it was almost like what he had embraced, and there was a bit of a rebirth
The beauty in the
element.
world, right? The rebirth
Yeah,
element, the
because-
cocoon, the
What he showed him.
Yeah,
the
because
caterpillar.
he was always this tough macho guy. I have to hold this facade, and something so delicate like being in a room of butterflies and all that.
I
That's what it
also
was?
think
I think so.
think
It's him breaking out of that.
it's life, right? It's also
Yeah.
life, right? The existence of beauty in the world, and even in the context of what he's in, right? He's in the middle. He's in a lab.
Yeah.
That's what they are, right? These flickering kind of creatures in a lab, where he's now recognizing the beauty in creatures like this. Think about a butterfly. A butterfly is very colorful, very flamboyant, if you will, very feminine,
Yeah.
right? Jared Leto's character's very much
Yeah,
that, right?
yeah.
The beauty in the world that he showed it.
That's what. Exactly.
But he's
That's what I was
stuck
like.
in this ugly, gross environment, this ugly life. That's what these butterflies, that's all these butterflies will ever get to know.
You guys like that?
I think it's intentional. It's
great.
terrific.
No, and then also on the whole like coming out of a cocoon and beauty and all that. It's so interesting. The biggest thing I was thinking about with his character was that he's so obsessed with like money, and that's his like gambling addiction. And it's kind of like that the fault of him. But it's not till after Leto's character dies, and they're like, oh well, like
We're cash poor.
Yeah, we're cash
Sell
poor.
the
How are
car.
we gonna give him drugs and like sell the car? Like at that moment, it was less about him being a like just quick rich scheme and more of a like starting movement, pushing for something that's better and it's gonna help people and all that. And
Well, I didn't catch that at the beginning, but that he was very cash
yeah,
incentive.
no, I was
From the whole
bull.
just betting.
Yeah, before I get into my rating, a little bit more about the character.
Yeah.
We talked a couple of episodes ago about the save the cat moment, right? And what's so interesting is that for this character, he's going to seem very bigoted. He's going to be using a lot of like slurs towards gays, and especially like when he's in the hospital and they tell me he has this diagnosis, and the first thing he wants to do is just be like, oh, you know, like
I'm a man.
I'm a man. I'm not a queer.
Yeah.
And you see this rough character. You see he has a gambling problem. He runs away from his problems at the very
When
beginning.
would that guy at the beginning of the film ever stand in the room full of butterflies?
And no, but the save the cat moment for him that tells us that his character is going to get better is that whole scene where I guess he's in an electric plant or something and a guy's leg gets crushed and then he goes to like try to save him. That small moment is enough for the film and to make these scenes so powerful that you see, oh, he is good in some way. Now let's just throw him, and then he's, you know, doing drugs again. He's suffering with all his problems,
But
and he's gonna get out of it, you know.
I thought the save the cat moment. I'd like to expand on the. I think the save the cat moment is almost like, okay, I'm gonna care enough about Jared Leto's character, Rayon, and he feels like he can save him.
Yeah.
He feels like he's going to save him. And he feels like he does after a point, right? He feels better. He finds a drugs for him. He cuts him in. He's making money. Develops a partnership with somebody who he would never. I mean, the arc is amazing.
Yeah.
And then we get into, oh, I can't even save him. I can't. I hold no power over this. That's a very, very interesting arc for somebody like that.
Well,
I also think the bookends are amazing.
yeah.
The bookends of the bull.
Oh yeah. But that wouldn't have been as well.
The
But we'll
bookends
talk
of the
about
bull,
that.
right? I'm gambling on this. I'm gambling on life. I'm gambling. Life is a gamble to begin with. And I'm just going to do my thing and have fun while doing it and observe life. And at the end, I'm going to take as much rain as I possibly can before I have no more rain to take.
Oh.
So what do you mean it ends at the bull?
Yeah, he ends in actually having the
scenes were
rains.
the same.
Having the what?
The opening scene, right? He's having sex with the girls behind the kind of
While
corral
watching.
or whatever, and watching the bull.
Right?
Understanding that the friend that he's essentially saying, like, dude, I'm gonna make money off of you. Just go
8
on the fucking
seconds.
bull. I'm gonna bet on you. I'm gonna take advantage of you, essentially. Because fucking life, there's no way you can control this shit. Fuck it, just go and do it. I'm gonna benefit off of this. I can't have kids because I have AIDS. I won't marry a beautiful woman and live a long life, but I can ride the bull. I can take reins in some capacity in my life.
Mm-hmm.
I can participate in life for what I have left of it. Those are the bookends. That's the arc,
Yeah.
right? Amazing
Yeah.
use
Yeah.
of cinematography, an
beautiful.
amazing use of character development.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, for acting and story and a lot of those symbolic beats, I want to put this high up. I just think it's hard to categorize with everything, but like an 8.8, I'd say somewhere around there. I think, again, for my own sensibilities, I think that there was areas that I would have changed the cinematography, but I don't think that it's shot bad in any way.
Do you feel like this film aligns when it comes to your preferences? Do you feel like it aligns a little into that kind of Lars and the Real Girl category
Yeah,
for you?
for sure.
Like,
for sure. And I mean, I also feel like kind of hypocritical because I mean, like there are moments where I'm like, I couldn't have shot that, or I couldn't have imagined
no, but
it
that's not
this
the
way.
point. You're coming in as an observer first, right? As a
But no,
consumer
I
of
put it
cinema first.
really high up. I mean, I think it could be a 9. I'm trying to think of some more elements.
8.9 is where you're at?
8.8.
8.8.
Yeah, I think that's where I sit right now.
Fair.
Yeah, I'm around there. What about you, Austin? This was your first watch? Whose first watch?
My first watch.
Yours. Yeah.
This is my second or third.
Second or third.
I'm sitting like at an 8.9, 8.8.
Is this your type of film? This is my type of film, like true story, blended.
Yes and no. More of like the character arc of it. And
Sorry.
I don't know, man. I've been trying to talk to the manager, but I don't know.
I think he's on break.
Yeah.
You are the manager.
Damn, you've been on break for a while, dude.
I know you should really get back.
Damn, I thought nobody noticed. No, but 8.9.
8.8.
8.8.
8.7.
Hey, let's put it on
It's
the
not a
board.
countdown,
8.6.
man. We don't.
8.6.
It's not New Year's.
You went from 8.9 to 8.6?
Like put it,
8.5.
put it on the board. Just let's see how it looks.
An 8. A 7. 6,
Okay, we know how many numbers.
Five.
We're starting in 5.
4, 3, 2.
Welcome
back to
to
the
Watch
Watch
Tower.
Tower.
What are we at? What are we at?
8.8.
8.8.
8.8.
It's just, it
Was it too
Good.
long or what's going on?
was a bit of a Walter Mitty effect for me. I remember this being this amazing,
Oh man.
amazing performance, and it was great. He deserved to win that year, but it's for me.
It just didn't hold up.
Yeah, for me, it didn't hold up. I don't know what it was.
And on
Because
the
I remember you said something about the crying scene in the car. That
I'm starting to feel
I
like
remember-
you just don't like Matthew McConaughey, bro.
Oh, I
you
love
don't like
McConaughey.
Interstellar's one of like your lead, like
and that's Nolan.
Okay, and Interstellar's like top.
Jeez, all right,
terrific
I'm not
performance from
gonna-
McConaughey. You don't love it either.
Drop by yourself
Interstellar's
then.
in my top 3 of Nolan films.
What about in your McConaughey performances?
It's up there. For McConaughey.
Above this?
Above this?
On a personal level, yeah.
Okay.
I don't know what it is. Like I was watching this and I remember the crying scene being more impactful.
Oh, the one where he's like,
What-
Side of
yeah.
the road.
well, I mean, also, you know, we
I
talk
don't know
about,
why,
like,
but
our-
I remember that being a lot more.
Being a little bit like
More
5 seconds
punchy.
more.
Yeah. And this time
kinda
around,
did too.
I was like, I thought it was more like, I don't know, maybe
it's
because
very
it's
quick.
Yeah.
Also, I feel like you're seeing it from the eyes of like, similar to me. You hear all this hype, and then that was like front and center stage. But when you look at everything else that's
Yeah.
around, it's like, was there any standouts on the editing front? Did you feel like you saw any cuts that were really impressive?
No,
or-
but there was one sequence that I did enjoy.
which
It
one?
was very Edgar Wrighty. Just like quick cuts. It was the first time he goes to Mexico.
Oh,
Shakes the
yeah.
hand.
Shakes
and
the
he puts things
hand,
in the
closes the
trunk.
account. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was
I
fun.
like
That was a little fun.
This film was nominated for editing, right?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And the director edited the film.
Ooh, what do you use?
Is that rare?
Well, that's not rare. It
It's
happens.
pretty rare.
It's
I
pretty
mean, on the
common for
big scale,
documentary.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah.
especially
But
because
on
of
the
union
big-
regulations and
But
stuff,
on
it's
the
pretty
indie
rare.
level though.
On the
mean,
indie level, well, on the indie level with a $5 million budget,
Exactly,
I
and
think
a
so.
Low budget like
I
that,
know.
yeah.
Yeah, on the low budget, sure, it's extremely common, but I mean, there's very few. In fact, I think there's only 10 films that are not in the history of the Oscars that where the director was also the editor that was nominated. I think there's
okay.
like 10 occurrences in all of the history of it.
See?
So it's pretty rare.
It's pretty rare.
No, the editors were John Mac McCurphy and Martin Pensa.
Really?
Yeah.
Aubrey Plaza edited this film.
Aubrey Plaza. That's weird. I had read that the director belonged to a prestigious
Maybe
list where he edited the
editor-
film.
like editing supervisor, maybe
I don't know that exists.
Post supervisor maybe.
post supervisor.
I don't know about that either.
That exists.
It does, but on an indie film,
Yeah. Well, you think at that point you just said you're the director and you're going to direct the film, even in the post and all that.
who knows? 8.8.
Yeah.
Okay, Carlos.
Hold on, I'm looking for something.
Okay.
Trying to answer your question.
Yeah, I had read that the director was on some list for being nominated. Maybe it was because he wasn't nominated for best director. I don't know. Maybe I misread something.
No, it was the other people.
Interesting.
But they edited this in LA. I'm just trying to figure out what they edited on.
Tricky monkey.
No, I don't know.
Who's next?
Me or you?
I'll go next so you can finish it off because you're.
Yeah,
Because I'm what?
we want you to finish.
Yeah, nah, we all want to finish.
So did he.
Come on, Carlos. Everybody wants you to come.
Come on.
Yeah,
He's going next.
But everybody wants you to come.
Why do
I
they
will
want me
after
to come?
Carlson.
No,
Why
see,
don't you want to come, man?
for me,
It's his choice.
You got it. You got it. Yeah.
I got it too. I thought it was weak.
You know, in some countries, I'm funny.
In some countries, I'm skinny.
so anyways, my rating for this film is
Little what?
Is it a dime?
He did. He just went under a pseudonym, motherfucker. He did edit the film.
So he did?
Yeah, he did. Go on.
Well,
So
I
my-
did.
my
How am I
rating
supposed to know
changes.
that? I'm
It's
just
on
reading-
IMDb.
I'm looking at the nomination for the Oscars. Doesn't have him listed.
It's him.
Unless he's like
He
listed.
just went under
And
a
he-
last
and
name.
he's
That's different.
going
Last
off
name.
of
John McMurphy.
iPhone, dude. You got a computer.
Anyways,
What are you on,
just up to
dude?
the
Like,
point. Just something to point out. Just he did edit the film. He just, I guess, again, union regulations won't allow for that type of shit. So he had to change his name.
Anyway,
Come on, intern.
Go rating.
My rating, I don't know. I really like this film. It's right up my
your wheelhouse.
my wheelhouse, my style of films. I like the whole journey of this guy that becomes, a self-centered, who starts off as a self-centered cowboy. And, he just starts to, I guess.
Life forces him to change.
Yeah,
right?
life forces him to, meet all these different types of people and relate to them. But what I really like about this film is Matthew McConaughey's performance. I mean,
Key standout. I mean,
yeah,
The
Sure,
film
the-
really
the
wants
first-
you to make him the key standard,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
the
you
first
have
thing
to.
we notice is like the weight loss, but besides the weight loss, like you this guy transforms into this character. Like you can see this guy going, I believe this guy is going through, depression. He's trying to get redemption. He's trying to
The
fight the
whole,
hospitals and the way the FDA works.
The whole stages of denial and really seeing McConaughey go through each of those stages and his performance, I was super impressed. The whole bargaining and then praying to God, pleading, denying it. When you see all those
At a
different moments.
strip club.
Yeah, no, all
And a
those
strip
different
Great
club.
scene.
Why
all
did they
those
do that,
different
though?
moments.
Why did they make it seem like it wasn't?
It's the juxtaposition, right? Of he's gonna pray in hopes
He's
that
not
he's
better.
gonna do a real change, but he's also not gonna change his lifestyle.
Right.
he's-
I like the little humor in that
that's
too.
interesting.
And if you look at the stages of denial, then it makes those moments later on the acceptance of no, this is what it is, and this is what I'm fighting for now. And for him to go through all those different stages and really just embody
Stages
the
of
performance.
grief.
Yeah.
That is what you-
Stages of
denial?
grief, exactly.
Do you think he
No,
went through
denial
all
is
five?
one of the stages of grief.
Do you think he went through all 5 stages of grief?
Yeah,
That's tough. Sure.
he went through rodeoing,
The
Strip
five.
club.
What are this?
apartmenting.
Denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Cocaine's not in there.
No, it's level 6.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, you gotta get past it.
Yeah.
That's advanced.
Yeah.
Yeah. What would you give it then?
Hold on. That and Jared Leto's performance.
Absolutely.
I only know him from 40 Days to Mars, or what is it? What is this?
I know him from Suicide
30
Squad.
Seconds to Mars.
Suicide Squad.
Suicide Squad. Yeah,
One of the better
the
Jokers.
Joker.
He was nominated.
One of the better Jokers. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I didn't stutter.
Nah, bro.
You guys didn't like him as Joker?
No.
You're definitely gonna have to timestamp that.
He
Who the
was,
fuck gets a grill as the Joker? No.
Yeah, bro.
David Ayer's stupid
And then a
in the
Lamborghini.
brain.
A Lamborghini.
No.
bro.
No, well, they
A Lamborghini.
they
The
talked
only good thing about that film was Margot Robbie, Austin,
Woo!
and maybe Will Smith.
Sorry.
Kind of liked Will Smith in that role.
Will Smith at the Oscars.
Not for another, 8 years?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, he's bad.
But what if I say please? What if he comes back for Men in Black 4?
But anyways,
Jared Leto's an anomaly, man. I really do think he's an anomaly. He's the type of dude who you know is a damn good actor.
I didn't
Go
know
do
this.
music for 10 years. Do Requiem of a Dream. Take a 5-year acting break. Do this. And then kind of be in the forefront of acting for a little while there. And
And then Morpheus.
yeah.
Yeah.
What happened?
I don't know, man. I think
Anyway.
I think what's cool about Jared Leto is the reason I think he's an anomaly is most actors will get an Academy Award like this and continue to make pictures of this kind of sphere, thinking I got to keep the fucking momentum going. I got to strike while iron's hot, and he didn't give a shit. Right? He's gonna go off and do as many bad. I think Jared Leto is one of the few actors that can always come back from a bad film.
I don't know too much about him.
I don't know about him. I know about his performance.
his performance.
Anytime he goes and makes a Morpheus, I'm sure tomorrow he'll still get a call from David O. Russell to be like, "Hey, I want you to be the lead of my next film."
Yeah.
That's rare, man. It's rare for an
That is
actor to
pretty
have
rare.
that kind of get out of jail free card, and it's all performance based. It's all just based on his talent, not based on it. And that's also probably because he was one of the more level-headed dudes in Hollywood. It seems like people like to work with him.
Yeah, and he's not going off the rails. and
Yeah,
stuff,
yeah,
so.
exactly. So I think
What
that has a
about-
lot to do with it. But
For
And he's
Suicide
hot.
Squad, mailing bullets to Will Smith.
That's true. Yeah,
he mailed bullets to him.
You didn't hear
And
about
a
the whole
live
thing?
rat
He was
to-
A live rat.
He was
just to be that
method
you're
not
acting.
Heath, bro.
Heath Ledger, exactly.
He was like trying to method act because he's like, oh, I'm gonna play Joker and all this kind of stuff. But yeah, he
it's-
mailed bullets to Will Smith. I forgot what he sent to Margot Robbie, but then rats to that one
dead
girl.
rat or something
Yeah,
like
like he was just weird.
You know, Jared Leto's like one of the most prominent method actors, right? Out
Yeah.
there.
I mean,
He wasn't
look at
trying
this
to be
film.
Heath Ledger.
Oh, he was?
Never mind.
I mean, sure,
I get
but
what you're
dude, the
saying.
method acting he did for this, not getting out of his role, dropping 30 pounds for the role, cool, fine. Sending a dead rat to your co-star?
yeah, and they even like got upset, like, dude, what are you doing? We're in a superhero film, like,
Yeah. I don't know, man. I dare I say it? I'm the wrong person to ask about this, but dare I say, I think Jared Leto's my.
Don't you dare.
No. I think he's the lead.
We just watched it. Don't.
No. Wait, I'm not saying anything about his performance here. I'm saying
No,
that
I'm saying, like,
in terms
don't-
of the Joker, I think he's the worst Joker.
Oh,
Worse
okay.
than Cesar Romero?
Yes. Cesar Romero at least he inspired fucking a bunch of the Jokers that we kind of follow now.
worse than Ray Romano.
I don't think Ray Romano was a Joker.
Dude, the guy who played Joker in
Batman.
Gotham was pretty bad too.
Gotham the series? I didn't see
Yeah.
it. Wasn't that the guy from Shameless?
Yeah, and he was.
Oh, the kid from Brightburn was playing the recent Joker.
And the recent Joker.
Yeah.
Saltburn.
What did I say?
Brightburn.
Damn it.
Saltburn, yeah.
Oh, that's the guy.
Oh,
who
Barry
played-
Keoghan did good.
Yeah.
That dude played
Yeah.
Joker?
For
Wow.
me, it's I don't care. Okay? Maybe we could. Joaquin. Heath.
Mid.
Joaquin. Heath. Just because it's a Christopher Nolan thing doesn't mean he's
You're muted.
better.
You're muted.
Oh,
Thank
dear
you, bro.
God.
Thank you, bro.
Yeah, you're
see?
muted.
See?
You're muted. You're muted. Until you get that back on. You're muted.
This is the last thing I'll say about Joker in relations to acting. I don't think that character has as much depth as people give it credit for. And I think that if you're not constantly evolving, even if you're going to replay a character that many times, I said the same thing about Ben Affleck, man. I think Ben Affleck was a better Batman than Bale.
Oh, Pattinson was better than Bale.
Pattinson was better than Bale, even. Yeah, I could say that too.
Okay.
That sounds pretty good, but
Not Ben Affleck? Oh, I like Batfleck, man. I do. I really do.
okay, let's get back to this. 'cause-
Yeah,
Oh my
Castro,
god, dude.
Give
That's
your
bad.
rating. Yeah, we get it. We know what you want.
Yeah. I'll give it an 8.6.
8.6.
8.6.
An 8.5?
No, I'll give it a strong 8.6. The performances were the ones that just stayed
Carried
with me.
the film.
Carried the film. I mean, the story carried the film, but I mean, the performance really made the film stand out for sure.
Yeah. Definitely.
Carlos?
Yeah.
So, what is your rating, Carlos? I'm feeling it's around 7.5 to like 9.
I think you're going way too high.
I really think it's going to be anywhere from 1 to 10.
I think anywhere from 0 to 1,000 is in the ballpark.
Yeah,
you know?
somewhere around there.
There's a number around there that you're thinking of.
Man, it's disagree.
What's the right
it's-
answer?
It's disagree with Carlos Day today.
No, I'm joking.
No, we're seeing where your rating's going to be.
No, I think you guys are expecting me to go low for some reason.
Oh, I'm not.
That's why I said 1,000.
He thought high at 7.6.
Wait, should we do that? Should we play a guessing game? With...
Sure.
In fact, do you guys got dollar bills? I think we could bet
Yeah,
on
but
this.
he's
gonna
gonna
gamble.
it in his mind.
Hey, this is not.
I can change it. Fine, you want me to write it down? I'll
No,
write it down. I'll write it down.
What
and
did he
then-
say? What did he say?
Just
This
put it on your
isn't
phone.
Right, fine.
This isn't like low league or whatever in minimum 20 or.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to put it on my phone. I'm going to put it on my phone before you guys guess.
Okay,
say
fine. Do you want to, let's guess. I like
8.2.
8.2? Oh,
Yeah,
you're going,
yeah,
are you going to
yeah.
go to the decimal point?
Yeah.
Wait, is it like a roulette? Can you bet on blacks? Like, I just know it's going to
What?
be 8 solid. I don't think
I know it's going to be an even or
Yo,
not.
timestamp that.
Yeah, don't bet on blacks. Dude. Just
You ever play
just
roulette?
bet on the best player. Just say that.
Dude, you ever play roulette?
He's so lost.
Nobody look at my reading.
Okay.
I want to look at something.
All right, Carlos, look at me right here.
Yeah, look at him.
Look at me right here.
You got to do a little, like, thing to make sure he's okay.
What
No,
do you
I'm
see?
trying
Stop using Snapchat filters. Your wife can wait. I'm joking.
I'm putting my rating.
He sent me a photo, bro.
Oh, okay. It's puppy.
So, Castro, your guess was like a 7 point something?
No, I was in like an 8.2.
Okay. Right here. You and me.
Ah, that's not
You
fair.
and
Dude.
me.
You guys know more about each other than.
I already got my
9.1.
9.2.
Oh, you son of a bitch.
Hey,
It's a strategy.
I've seen the
change
prices
my-
right.
Can I change mine?
So what? 8.1, 9.1, 9.2.
Yeah. 2.5. Blurt it out.
Do I have to round? Do I have to like round up or down?
No, just give your rating.
Just give the rating.
I'm like at an 8. 8.
You're like
I
an
actually
8?
wrote it down. Okay, I'm not
So
lying.
Castro
I'm not
wins.
lying. No. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. No, I'm kidding.
I
I'm not
knew
done.
you
I'm not
hated
done.
This film, dude. Despise this film.
8.333.
8.9999999. 8.9.
It's a-
8.9.
I'm the champ. I'm
No,
the champ.
I was closer.
I don't
I
think
had
I-
a 9.1. I'm the champ.
So you really liked it?
Yeah. I think the Dallas Buyers Club coming at it as a director is a dream for a director.
Why so?
For somebody to come into a situation like this, it's already the odds are against you.
Much like with AIDS. That's real.
That's
what?
good, dude. That's a clip right there.
I don't know about that, buddy. We're stupid. We're sorry, audience.
What do you mean?
What do you mean? What do I mean?
It's
that
a
is
metaphor for the
true,
film.
dude.
The odds
It's-
are against them, you know?
Yeah, dude.
You said it jokingly.
No, I didn't.
Fine.
You
Anyways,
don't think AIDS people have humor? That's what you're
I
saying.
hope so.
Hey,
Um,
what do you mean, you people?
They're just people, Castro.
Yeah.
AIDS people.
All right.
I just think that this is a director's like
Dream.
puzzle pieces all fit together. Maybe not the way you wanted it to per se, but man, this film succeeded in what it was trying to do. On
It knew what it was trying to do.
it knew what it was trying to do, and on the macro level, performances obviously for the director to have the ability to draw the vision to draw out a performance like this, man, is a dream for a director.
Oh, man.
On two levels, on multiple levels, right? But more so, all of the we've talked about how cinema is a marriage of all these art forms and a quilt, if you will, that's sewn tightly into the fabric of cinema.
We could go with that.
I think this is one of the films that did it correctly. I don't know that it doesn't sit in my top 10 or 20 or whatever, and I don't think it's going to stand the test of time, quote unquote, in the history of cinema. What I think is that for what it was trying to do, this picture succeeded tenfold, man. I think
Was
even
that a compliment on top of this? So, like, it's not gonna hold on, but right now it's good.
no, it's just there's a bigger picture to be painted in cinema, right? And this is one of the colors per se. This is one of the small brush strokes of cinema, but it's a damn good brush stroke. It was a damn good choice. It was a damn, on all levels.
I like that one better.
So again, just as I think what it's hitting especially close to home right now for me because it didn't really have the Walter Mitty effect on me as much as it aligned with where I am as a filmmaker right now.
Okay.
And as a filmmaker, I can strongly say, if I had a $5 million budget, I could probably do that. Still respecting
Exactly, like, still, yeah, exactly, yeah.
respecting the challenge and respecting what he had to do to go through
It
that.
was still a challenge.
Oh, yeah.
But I think just aligning on like, man, if I were ever to get an opportunity like that, I would want to strike all of those chords. The only reason it doesn't get a higher score is because I think Jennifer Garner's grossly miscasted in this film.
I agree.
And
And
again,
she's a great actress. She's a great actress.
don't get me wrong, man. It might have been just something that he did to get the film greenlit, to even get a $5 million budget. Maybe it was a choice that he had to make, but creatively, I would have probably casted an unknown in that role.
Yeah.
And been okay creatively with that.
Because in
decision.
some weird way, I can't get away from it being like, okay, I'm expecting something from her because this is Jennifer.
This was one of my favorite films kind of growing up since I saw it. And again, the pinnacle of cinema for me 10 years ago, right? Mm-hmm. I got to admit to you, I've seen this film probably 10 times. By Castro standards, probably like 5 or 7.
Now, when you say you've seen it 10 times, has it been like 10 times you've sat down and be like, I'm going to watch Dallas Buyers Club? Or
Nah, definitely
some
not.
of them are like, oh, it's on cable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely.
Same.
I gotta admit, I always forget that she's in this film. I never remember. I definitely remember Jared.
And
I
this is a
definitely
lot.
remember Matthew McConaughey. I totally forget. Oh shit, that's right. She's in this film. Okay.
Yeah.
You know, I always forget her performance in this.
Because also,
It could have been anybody to a certain extent,
And
also
it would have
the-
worked better.
and it would have worked better if it was an unknown. We would have gotten the more compelling performance.
No, the way the film was also put together is that they kind of serve to be these little puzzle piece moments or puzzle piece characters where, like, we have the quick cut back to like, oh, McConaughey getting like the slips and that moving the story forward and all this kind of stuff.
yeah.
But like, there's very few times that we sit with her and let, I guess, kind of like her command the stage. Even
Yeah.
look at like the table scene or the dining scene. She's shot so wide compared to McConaughey. That's who's commanding the screen right now.
And,
It's
and
not her.
maybe again, creatively, if I had to defend the director, I'd defend that it's one of two things. He chose Jennifer Garner because she's a star and I'll get the film made if I get her. Which unfortunately sucks, but unfortunately is a little justified as a filmmaker. Not creative choices. The other side of the coin I think maybe he was trying to portray is this beautiful image of life wrapped in this this three-dimensional character. I mean, I'm not saying she's a flat character. Her character's flat. She definitely has an arc, but the character has an arc. Did the performance actively portray that arc? I don't know. And when I'm unsure, as a director, Scorsese likes to say that casting is 70% of the film.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
So if I'm making my choices casting in pre, Jennifer Garner, I don't think she was casted by choice, at least not direct choice. I think she was casted circumstantially. And the thing about it is, I'm not trying to dog her as an actress. She's a good actress.
Just great actress.
She's a professional, though. And a professional actress like that, a professional actor like that can adapt. So she did her part. She played the role.
Yeah.
She didn't take away from the film.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
She didn't take away from the film. A professional actor knows how to do that. So kudos
But
to
just
her.
her name alone
Yeah.
took it a little bit up.
Yeah. I think you knock off a point automatically the minute I see her because it makes me feel like it's a Hollywood movie. McConaughey doesn't feel like that. Jared Leto doesn't feel like that. And they're Hollywood actors. But Jennifer Garner's she still has the stigma of the rom-com, of the Electra, of the, even now, like she's making family pictures. She's not really doing anything of substance.
Oh, I saw that new one she did on Netflix.
Yeah. So
Pretty bad.
my nephew sat me down to see it. I couldn't do
The
it.
Mark Wahlberg one?
No, it's her and
I think the Yes Day or something.
yeah, but it's with Sudeikis, I think.
One somebody
Sudeikis,
like
for
that.
real?
I don't think it was Sudeikis.
Oh, okay.
He's
was
too
him
hot off of
or,
Ted Lasso. It was somebody else.
Yeah.
John Hamm maybe or somebody like that.
It was at home. Sorry,
Ed Helms. Yeah,
it
that
was
makes
Family
sense.
Switch.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, she did that, and then
yeah.
she did the Yes Day thing. So she's only making kind of family pictures right now.
Don't tell me the yes thing is that she has to say yes.
Yeah, that's it.
Not stealing from Liar Liar and Yes Man.
Yep.
Yes.
My
Come
point
on,
with that
Hollywood.
is she similar to how we talked about Leo having this stigma for a long time of like the Titanic guy.
Yeah.
I don't
pretty
think
boy
you
thing.
want somebody like that. I think she's too polished for this film.
She's gonna be
That's
in the
what
new
you're
Deadpool.
saying.
Oh, big.
Really?
What?
She's gonna be in the new Deadpool.
As Electra?
Um,
No mames.
wait, I think so because
Yeah, it makes
she
sense.
did Electra before. No.
Yep.
Let me
Well,
see.
okay. Well,
Whatever, that's fine.
Yeah.
It's a Marvel picture and it's comedy and it's got to have a lighthearted side. The only reason I think the director chose her either, again, was logistically to get the film made or the lighthearted side of things to keep the film light. To a
which is
certain
another
extent.
thing I didn't like about the film.
Well,
You know, it was like
It was lighthearted and then dark.
Yeah.
The roller coaster was kind of.
one of the characters that I
Upbeat.
really did like, kind of in the background, cemented in, was that secretary character. She didn't have to say much, but
She's great.
Yeah, she
The,
really.
the black lady?
yep.
Yeah.
Oh, she was cool.
Terrific.
I mean, she didn't
Yeah.
really
I
sing.
think she was in Wolf of Wall Street too, by the way. I think she played the nanny in Wolf of Wall Street.
She played
I think
the
you're
nanny.
right.
I think she looked familiar.
I just know that whenever she came on, I mean, the bits that she was there
Yeah.
and the way she was able to kind of like portray the emotion of those
Yeah.
moments, like especially breaking the news kind of about Leto's character dying.
Yeah.
Like, her role is more memorable to me right now. Than
The cop too, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, those smaller bits. But
What's
like,
his name? Zach?
I always forget his
Snyder?
name, but
I just remember him from National Security.
yeah, dude, yeah.
Martin Irons.
Yeah. Again,
And Silverman
Silverman.
with Jack Black.
Oh yeah. Searching, not
It's
searching.
Steve Zane.
Steve Zane.
Yeah.
Searching for Silverman.
Search, not something. Yeah,
yeah,
something
yeah.
like that. I know what you're talking about with Jason Biggs and
Jack
all these
Black.
Jack Black. Yeah.
Dude, he was in The Good Lord Bird.
Oh, cool. He's a good actor. He's a good character actor.
Yeah.
But again,
Character
even
actor.
his performance
And
in
those
this was
moments,
like
the moments with
those
him.
moments of like his dad having dementia or Alzheimer's
yeah,
or whatever.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
Helping him.
I mean, this is good, but probably more pivotal, maybe more imperative for the character building, for the world building of this film.
I'm just saying, like, those moments, do you feel like
I
Jennifer
don't
Gardner
think
really had any of
Man, it
those?
sucks, man. I'm gonna sound like an asshole, but I can't pinpoint any other character in the film, both supporting anybody. I don't think anybody was misplaced other than Jennifer Gardner. I think everybody else was greatly cast.
Oh,
Even
yeah.
the supporting actors. The doctor in Mexico, terrific actor.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I mean, just Gardner. Gardner, I think, it just knocks off a whole point for me. But I think that, again, this situation as a filmmaker, as a storyteller, to make a film for $5 million with everybody rooting against you,
Super impressive.
gross $50 million at the box office, win 4 Oscars. I mean, dude, it's a director's dream, right? And to not only do that because it's a popularity vote, but know that people are rooting for it because they know they can't deny it. It's an undeniably good piece of art.
Exactly. At the end
You
of the
know,
day, that's
so it's just as a director coming at it as a director is like, fuck, man, all of this worked. All of it worked, except Jennifer Gardner. Just all of it worked. All of it worked. It's a dream to have, man. And again, I think I'm just where I'm at currently in my filmmaking kind of journey.
It hits all the right spots.
It hits all the like, oh man, I think we'd be onto something if we made something like that.
See, and I was kind of scared because it's a heavy subject, and I didn't think you guys were gonna be like, But I'm glad you guys liked it.
No, but we
no.
talked a little bit about earlier. I don't remember if it was off camera or not, but we talked a little bit about how this film kind of set a precedent for these films that are now formulaic, that are pandering, that are Oscar baity. I don't think this was trying to be that. I think these filmmakers would have been happy if they submitted to Sundance and got in.
Yeah.
I think that's all they would have been cool with.
This is the type of film that, it's
You
cool
know?
with that.
Yeah.
That's great, man. It's great, and it's held over time for me. It's held over time for me. I don't think I have a quarrel with this film other than that one bad casting choice, and even that didn't take me out of the film enough to like hate it or anything like that.
You know, now that I'm thinking about it, when I first saw it, Jared Leto was the one that really went home.
Absolutely.
I was like, man, I thought she was a woman. Like, not, but I was like,
I didn't.
No, but that
she's
character,
very, vulnerable and,
dynamic.
feel it.
It makes you think like, how life was back then for a transgender woman. Especially when he makes the guy shake his hand,
Oh, it's good. It's a good moment.
Full
It's a good
circle,
moment.
Like, yes.
I was thinking about it while we were watching it, but we watched Tick Tick Boom. And I mean, that has a big
I don't think we
moment.
covered it on the podcast,
Huh?
but
Yeah, I gotta
Yeah.
see that film. Is it good?
Well,
Terrific.
It's great, but it has one moment that it covers
Yeah.
the AIDS pandemic and
Yep.
all
Yep.
that. And
it has a few moments.
it has a few moments, but
It's kind of interwoven into the fabric of the
I
film.
gotta see that film.
Yeah, but I mean, for
That's
the
good.
way
It's
that
great.
it's portrayed there, and especially affecting like somebody of like the queer community, and the way that we see it affect like Leto's character and how dynamic that is. You
Yeah.
know, being in a relationship, being vulnerable but trying to stay positive,
But I
trying to
think-
hold this win.
I think we can all agree that around the time of Dallas Buyers Club, probably immediately after, there was a surge in like AIDS films. And though it was probably I'm sure it was a great intention to bring more awareness to a lot of it. But a lot of it comes across as pandering. I'm going to make a film about a serious topic so that I get an Oscar nomination. That's pandering, right? And this film didn't try to do any of that, man. It was just trying to tell a good story.
yeah.
And you could even, I don't know, I could care less if it was a true story or not. I usually don't.
I do.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
It makes it more real for you,
I
right?
just felt
Yeah,
like they
I'm
made
big
the
into
story
those.
structure just very well. I mean, all these beats, all these moments,
Yeah.
the way that they blend in this whole like time factor, which I mean, when we talk about like AIDS, we're always talking about time, like how much time do you have left, and like you know what's your lifespan gonna be, and the way that each day passing by, you're seeing different aspects of all these characters.
Yeah, I love like you were saying the inserts, man, and one of those inserts on the calendar, the 30.
and
Right,
him like
we saw nothing but the number 30 on the calendar in that quick glimpse.
Oh
Speaking
yeah,
of-
yeah, that was
you know,
pretty unique.
Speaking
yeah.
of intentionality and very
Yeah, I
well
think you
played.
mentioned it.
The day count.
No. The audible intentionality, all the moments that you would hear the ringing, and whenever, like, even when he was selling stuff and doing things,
Heartbeats
that ringing noise would only come up when it was like,
Gonna get bad.
it's his personal problem.
Yeah.
Like, it's not something that he's dealing with majorly. It's just like it's affecting him. That's why that ringing was so impactful at the very end. The bookend, when you see him get back on the bull and the pings of the metal and all that, and that ringing where it's his personal challenge, not anybody
Yeah.
else's. You know.
I like it. I also think that the heartbeats came in all the right places.
Oh yeah.
And also, by the way, just the structure of the day count, I think was really good.
I'm you know me.
What?
I like those.
Yeah. I
try-
mean,
I
the
just try
doctor
to,
gives you
yeah.
30 days to live, and we're on day 2,755 or whatever. You know, like it's. I think it's good.
And I think you mentioned like that was very medical, very.
It's very clinical.
Clinical.
Very, very clinical in the way that they describe it, where it's this small text. It's not meant to be this big thing in the face. It's
Yeah.
reaching out to you. It's just like when you read it. Like when you read a document like,
Exactly.
oh, you have this diagnosis.
Exactly.
It
Yeah.
all comes across very standard. And I mean, even when you saw him get the diagnosis at the beginning, it's such an emotional thing. And that's what you see a lot of cinema regarding like the AIDS pandemic.
Yeah.
It's this very emotional thing. But the way it's presented to people is very just kind of cold.
It's
and
an interesting
straightforward,
kind of wrap.
And
It's an
fast
interesting
forward.
kind of culmination, right? It's not just the arc of a man who's adamantly against homosexuality. It's all of that, and it's kind of a court procedural too. It's kind of a tale on masculinity. I mean, it's an interesting wrap.
It's
This
super
picture.
Oh
dynamic.
yeah, dude, that big.
Out of
Yeah.
curiosity for you guys, do you feel like seeing this film, especially after like us going through a pandemic, where a lot of these like moments? Oh. Yeah, let me tighten it. But like a lot of these moments going through like the
Happens once in a while,
pandemic
right?
and all that. You know what happens to
It
6 out
happens
of
to
10
one
men?
of 3 men,
Oh.
or whatever.
Yeah. I was gonna say like post pandemic, when we went through a large period of like trials and testing and all that kind of stuff, do you feel like it kind of hit different because for a while it is everybody's problem? We were able to get kind of a taste of that whole sense of like everybody's afraid, everybody's nervous. Where then these characters, especially the ones that want to like back away from them
And the
like
beginning
cut
of the
them out of
film.
life, yeah.
He
like
spit on me.
those moments, I don't know. I just
yeah,
feel
it's
like
interesting.
Everybody just
they,
kind of.
they hit harder because I'm seeing it for the
Yeah.
first time, but I have that retrospective.
Yeah, I
with
guess now
Yeah,
that you
yeah.
mention it for sure.
I don't. You guys know I've mentioned it on this podcast and in our conversations off of it. I typically like a film with a little more escapism, but I'm very I don't dive in the gray areas as much anymore. I want full escapism or I want full realism, and this falls under I want the full realism.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. There's not a single moment of magical realism in this picture.
Oh, come on. No. Well, okay.
When?
For the story beats, I mean, visually, a lot of the metaphors, those are my.
Yeah.
They're not magical realism though. They're
No.
metaphors. They're
But
metaphorical
they're
moments.
so like
Like the circus clown popping out,
Yeah.
or like
Yeah.
the
butterfly
realism
moments.
though
Butterflies.
of like him being able to go to his father and say, "Hey, I know you reject my lifestyle, but I'm dying, and you can do me one last favor." That's not magical realism, but it's like beautiful realism.
One of my favorite scenes.
Oh yeah.
One of my favorite scenes.
That he's
Oh,
able to
how
go back and
vulnerable
say.
that, you know.
And by the way, it's not a fully answered question. He could be lying. He could be going back to him and saying, "Oh yeah, I sold my life insurance policy." That could have been true. His dad could have said no, and you don't get the question answered.
Oh,
You get to
especially like the
deduce
way
it.
it leaves
That's
it, where
true.
it's kind of like, "How's mom doing?" And then it quickly cuts away from that. But what I like about that is that kind of cut, doesn't make you feel like he's connecting. It makes you feel like he's kind of scraping, like, oh, like I got to get his
Yeah.
emotions, you know.
Wow.
And that's super
Wow.
super interesting
Yeah.
choice.
Yep.
You could have shot that where he asks, and then it's just his silence, and
Yep.
then he comes with the money.
Yep.
But I feel like that moment there, him saying like, "Oh,
How's
what about
mom?"
mom?" And then he's like, "No, don't start." And
Yeah.
then it cuts over, creates this
even
limbo effect for the whole film.
the prop. He comes in with money from the bank. It has the wrap around the money, right? The stack.
It was clean.
It was clean. It's not a huge stack. You know, if he has a rich father, I would assume he's going to give him as much as he can.
Well,
in
that
the
stack could be
situation.
like about 20, 30 grand.
Yeah. That alone, though, right? It could be a life insurance policy that I'm going to go cash in? And could it be my father coming with me to the
True,
bank?
I
To get,
get that,
It's an
yeah.
interesting thing, man. They're very good choices. It's very
Yeah.
good choices.
It's up
But
to you.
yeah, it leaves it up to you. But just again, these micro moments of realism, these micro moments of the macro scale of the film as a realist kind of portray of something, and the micro moments that
Are sprinkled around.
are sprinkled around of really kind of beautiful realism. Man, it's a very impressive picture.
I'm glad you guys liked it, man.
Yeah.
I was.
Yeah.
No, I really want to revisit it and just see a lot of those little moments. Because going back to like my choice of films, I also like a lot of films that have those like symbolic moments, those little bits here and there. And I don't know, just in the sounds, in a lot of the visuals, I felt like I was picking up on a lot of that. Those subconscious
sounds.
things, those little metaphors that a director will sprinkle in. So that way, when you think about these moments, how they all come together, it's to paint a larger picture, something that's meant to stay with you. And I felt like this director did a great job of that. And then I felt like in the performances, I mean, that's what really held the film together, but made you connect with the story, connect with the
Yeah.
challenges.
I
mean,
wish.
oh my god.
We're more
I wish a
informed
lot
now.
more. I would have wished this director had a lot, and maybe it was just by choice. I don't know. I wish this director would have had a more mainstream success in cinema. The DP got mainstream success. Matthew McConaughey's career blew up in dramatic performances. Jared Leto's career blew up. I really wish that the director would have gotten more.
Is it Leto's or Leto?
I think it's. I don't know.
I thought it was Leto.
Leto.
I thought it
no?
was Leto too.
Is
I
it
thought,
Leto?
I thought it was Leto. Jared Leto.
Do you think also like I mean there's some directors and a lot of documentary directors where they make films that they believe in the story and they're passionate about, but then that's kind of like
Yeah.
where it ends.
And he's also not American, or he's from Quebec.
oh yeah, the
So he's-
cinematographer is French. I mean,
Yeah, so they're cute. I mean, they're Canadian. I think it's safe to say they're Canadian, but yeah, I don't know, man. Again, that might have been just by choice, but
Yeah.
I would have wished more, even just more indie successes for this director.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think he went on to do some TV before he passed
Well,
away.
the big question for this one is:
Yeah.
Is there going to be a sequel? I'm sorry. That was a mean joke. I'm so sorry, guys.
Terrific picture.
Please timestamp. Timestamp.
I'll hold out a 8.9. I can't justify the casting as much.
and that really does knock something for you.
Yeah, it really does.
Do you
I mean,
think
I have to, man. As a director, I have to. If I make my casting choices, I have to sleep in that bed that I made. You know.
Yeah, I agree.
So yeah, I can't fully defend them on that front, but I understand. I sympathize with him. Whatever his reasoning was, I figured out 2 reasons. I hope one of them is the truth,
Yeah.
but
Which it usually is.
I'm
one
at
of
an
those.
8.9.
Yeah, no, I sit around the same spot. I love this film. I was really surprised. I thought it was going to be a lot more heavy-handed, and because of the subject matter and everything. But I ended up really enjoying just the journey that the actors take us through, and seeing all their like dips and dives and their high beats and their low moments.
Yeah.
There's a. Oh well, I'll get into it at the end if we do say like what are films we would recommend similar to this, but. Yeah,
Go for it.
Yeah,
Huh?
go for
We're
it,
already
go
at
for
the
it.
end.
Yeah, you're already there.
I don't know if you ever saw Maggie. It's kind of
Oh,
a funny
yeah?
one. Yeah, with Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Which one's that one?
That one's the one where there is a zombie virus.
It's kind of new.
No, it's I think 2014 maybe. But it's Arnold Schwarzenegger and basically there's a zombie apocalypse. So you're like, "Oh, I know what this is going to be." But what happens is that it goes under like a realistic interpretation of like if it did happen, like how would society handle it? And it's like, oh, my daughter has the virus. Like what treatments do we have? And medical professionals saying, well, try this, but if it gets worse, we're gonna have
Yeah.
to like euthanize her.
That's
And
interesting.
it deals with sickness and it deals with the emotional factors of that and the stages people go through and trying to like humanize what otherwise would just be a very I don't know, statistical situation where it's just very like on paper it's like, oh, it's bad, oh, we're gonna do trials, oh, we're gonna do this. And these are the kind of films that connect you to the human element of something that could just be numbers.
Okay. I'd probably toss in something like The Kindergarten Teacher.
Really?
Very similar feel, very similar tonality, grounded in realism. This is definitely a much better picture, but just by comparison.
Yeah.
I don't know why mine 50-50.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
More
I mean,
comedic for sure, but definitely in that
more
vein.
comedic, but it's
It
the
handles like
struggles of
the
having
human
a
element, yeah.
I like 50-50.
yeah, that's the one that kind of
Living
stands out
Through
with
the
Seth
New-
Rogen and
Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Gordon-Levitt.
No, great picture. I really enjoyed this one. I want to return to it again very soon.
Anybody else's ratings change?
No,
8.8, 8.9. I'm still around there.
8.9.
What was mine? 8.4.
I think you were 8.6, no?
6, yeah, 8.6.
Yeah, we all sat in that later 8.8.
Yeah.
Cool.
Around there.
Yeah.
Definitely check it out if you haven't in a while.
Yeah, this is
It's heavy.
it's a masterclass in acting, man.
It's
Say what
heavy,
you want.
but it's a lot more palatable than I thought it was going to be.
Oh, okay,
I didn't think this was like... I thought it handled the subject matter very well.
Yeah.
I took you on the journey in a very nice way. It could have gotten a lot more gritty, but I think they found a balance.
Yeah,
exactly.
but and above all, I just think again, masterclass in acting,
Masterclass with a $5 million budget.
masterclass with a $5 million budget on obtaining quote unquote true big stars and utilizing them the right way. At least
Exactly.
most of them. So it's huge, man. It's huge, and actors should use this film as a reference point. I remember when Castro and I we did a couple pictures together. One of them specifically, where Castro we're cutting straight to his "you're crying," and I remember I showed the scene to you. I don't know if you had seen the film by then. I'm sure you had, but
still time.
I remember referencing this film. Like this is it. This is what I want. This is the
I remember
tonality
that.
I want.
Yeah, I remember.
I think it's a huge point in the latter half of the 21st century of performance. Terrific cue kind of performance.
That's coming from my director, so I love it.
Up next
Up next,
on Oscar month.
Mr. Austin Young's pick, one of my favorite films of
Ooh,
all
I haven't even heard it.
time.
Which one is it?
Stepsister Stuck in Dryer. I'm joking. Social Network.
I thought
David Fincher's.
I'm just playing. No, I like it. I just don't see how you guys rank it as a top,
The Social Network?
or somebody ranked it as a top movie ever.
It's in my top 10
What about, wait,
of all time.
was it
That's
The Social
insane.
Network or Whiplash that got voted like the best film of the 2010s?
Whiplash.
Whiplash.
Well, no. Whiplash in the history of Sundance. The Social Network was
I thought it was a
the most. Well, but by whose definition?
Exactly.
God.
At the end of the day, exactly.
No, but
end of the
multiple
day,
people
by
have
whose
deemed it that
definition?
the most important film of the 21st century.
There's a spider
I love this film.
deep in my soul.
I've never seen it.
Aaron Sorkin,
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Well, I
His
think one of
script.
Aaron Sorkin's best scripts.
his best script.
Yeah.
His best script. I mean, this fucking
This thing for dialogue is amazing.
yeah. Social Network next week.
By the way, won 3 Oscars, nominated for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
wow.
I'm actually excited because
Terrific picture.
Have you seen it, Castro?
Yeah, I've seen it. I just
You have bad
take it
taste.
in the way you guys did.
Terrific,
I didn't take it in at
terrific
all.
picture. He's never seen it.
Oh, you haven't seen it?
No.
I lost your mic, Castro. There we go.
What about now?
Terrific picture to cover. And we're covering it because it's won Best Editing, which is what
Best
Mr. Young
editing?
wants to discuss.
Is that the only thing? I'm sure it won.
Won Best Original Screenplay. It won
Sound
actor.
mixing.
sound mixing.
Jesse didn't win anything.
I think he only won those 3.
Do you want to know the other nominations, or we'll talk about it?
I'll talk about it next week.
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
But yeah, let us know. We're still kind of gearing up. I think we have a Best Picture selection that's going to align with our next Towercast episode, which we're really excited for. I don't know if we can. I don't think I should announce it yet.
No,
we'll announce it next week. But it'll be exciting. I'm going to talk to somebody that's awesome in the industry and just somebody that we're really
I was
excited to
trying to
chat
think
with.
what you were saying, but yeah.
And I think our Best Picture, quote unquote, collective Best Picture choice is going to align with that kind of guest. So tune in for that. Tune in for The Social Network, which I've been wanting to talk about this film since we started this podcast.
Yes, he
Man, The
has.
Social Network's fucking amazing.
And also,
Will it be a Walter Mitty effect?
No.
I don't think so.
It can't be.
stay
it
tuned also
can
with
be.
the Aaron and George's Cafe.
Yeah, we're
We're
still
all
waiting to
waiting.
hear
We've been
back. We're
asked.
rooting for them. We're
Yeah.
trying to make see if they need anything.
Yeah. Keep
But,
following them. Keep supporting them.
Yep.
Yes.
And we hope to be back live with our friends at Aaron and George's Film Cafe soon.
Yeah, I've gotten a couple messages. Trust me, we're trying to get back.
Yeah. Stay tuned. Thank you for tuning in to the WatchTower Film Podcast. Good night.
Good at it.
Love you guys.
All right, everybody do their best when